Good evening. My name is Elena Langen, and I have the honor of being the 7th Dean of Touro Law. Welcome to our 40th anniversary gala. I'm so glad you have joined us. This will be an exceptional evening as we have much to celebrate. Throughout tonight's program, you will hear from many individuals with unique Touro perspectives, discussing what makes Touro Law special. Together, they will highlight our 40 years of accomplishments and look ahead to a very promising future. I am honored to be part of this historic milestone. When I accepted the deanship, there were many things about the law school that stood out to me, but I couldn't even begin to imagine how much of an impact our programs have had, not just on our students, but within the region. Touro Law has a clear mission and purpose. Our school seeks to educate law students through a rigorous, innovative curriculum with an emphasis on public service and social justice. The Law Center has created a number of programs that address the changing landscape in legal education. A few years ago, the law school created the FlexTime JD program, making law school more accessible to students with work or family commitments or geographic constraints. The positive response to this program has been heartening, and Touro Law is delighted to continue its leadership role in providing students with a greater access to legal education. Our commitment to serving the community is demonstrated in many other ways as well. Touro Law's disaster relief program helped thousands of Long Islanders in need after Hurricane Sandy. Our Veterans and Service Members' Rights Clinics, Senior Citizens Program, Child Advocacy and Bankruptcy Clinics have positively affected thousands of lives. Our Street Law program teaches and connects law students with high school students, impacting our neighboring school districts and helping hundreds of disadvantaged families. Touro was one of the first law schools in the country to take students from a law school in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria to help them continue their legal education uninterrupted by the natural disaster. Our swift response to the pandemic was and is the essence of who we are as an institution. We pivoted to online learning without losing a beat, supported our faculty, staff, and students every step of the way, raised funds to help students in financial need as a result of the crisis, and opened a hotline for community members needing legal assistance that is still a vital source today. Our response was fast, it was effective, it was impressive, it wasn't even a second thought. It is just what we do. It is who we are. Throughout our 40 years, our alumni, Board of Governors, individual donors, and national foundations and corporations have all given generously to support our students and programs. Most important on our list of accomplishments is our pride in the more than 6,500 Touro Law alumni. Our alumni have made their marks in the West Wing, in the halls of Congress, as elected officials in states, cities, counties, towns, and villages around the nation, on the bench, in academia, as business leaders, public prosecutors and defenders, bar leaders, and as practicing attorneys from big law partners to boutique firm litigators. Touro Law alumni can be found nationwide in big cities, suburbs, and rural communities. Of course, we would not be where we are today without the vision and support of the leadership of Touro College and University System. Dr. Alan Kadish is Touro's second president, succeeding the school's founder, Dr. Bernard Lander, in 2010. He has positioned our entire college and university system to prepare a new generation of scholars, entrepreneurs, and leaders for the world. With his stalwart support for the law school, Dr. Kadish has continued to uphold Dr. Lander's vision. We deeply appreciate his support. Thank you.
Welcome to the Touro Law Center Gala. Tonight's event marks the 40th anniversary of our Law Center. This is certainly a momentous occasion. First, I want to take a moment to recognize our 6 previous deans: John Bainbridge, Howard Glickstein, Lawrence Rafel, Patricia Salkin, and Harry Ballin. There's a saying from our sages, all those who are 7th are cherished. Our current dean, Elena Langen, is proof of that, as she continues to add greater distinction to our institution. But for 4 decades, all of our deans have built on the success and accomplishments of their predecessors. They have been the doers and dreamers, and we've been fortunate to have these incredible women and men at the Touro Law Center. The number 40 also has remarkable biblical significance. 40 signifies a time of judgment and a rite of passage, and the Touro Law Center's 40 years have demonstrated that. The fact that we can gather now in celebration of 4 decades of growth is evidence not only of vision and determination, but also of hard work, sacrifice, and genuine dedication to our principles. The Touro College University System's unique commitment to diversity and bringing both opportunity and justice to the underserved is exemplified by our Law Center. Established in 1980 as part of the Touro College by our founder, Dr. Bernard Lander, the center was officially named the Touro College Jacob D. Fuchsberg Law Center in honor of Judge Jacob Fuchsberg, a distinguished litigator who served as an Associate Justice of the New York State Court of Appeals from 1975 to 1983. Since opening our doors, the commitment to serve the underserved has remained a bedrock of Touro's mission. Each year, Touro's law students complete tens of thousands of pro bono legal work hours. Millions of dollars of legal services are provided free to community members in need. When you add these numbers up over 4 decades, they are staggering. And when you add in the many more hours that our graduates provide pro bono work as professionals, the numbers are even more impressive. Our students really have made a difference in the community. Each year, our Law Center is blessed with a crop of new students who exemplify this great commitment and passion. In the past year, more than ever, we saw greater effort on part of students and staff and professors who had to work to maintain their passion and commitment to the study of law while challenged by the international COVID pandemic. I'm proud to commend our Law Center and all those who responded to the pandemic with the opening of a hotline to help people with their legal needs. Our volunteers exemplify what Touro is all about, a place where knowledge and values meet. Despite the challenges that social distancing has created, our faculty have continued to nurture their students' intellectual curiosity and have opened their minds to new ways of problem solving in order to meet the new, complex challenges in society and to further our shared values of social justice and tikkun olam, fixing the world. These repairs are vital in this time when society and political turmoil continue to increase. There is much work to be done, and our students stand ready to do it. My sincere thanks to everyone who's worked so hard to make tonight's celebration a success, to our sponsors and donors who share our dream and recognize the value of our Law Center. This 40th anniversary is truly momentous. Thank you for being part of it, and welcome.
Good evening. I am Congresswoman Kathleen Rice, a proud Touro Law graduate and one of your MCs for this 40th anniversary gala. After I graduated from Touro Law in 1991, I used my education to pursue a career in public service. In 2014, I ran for Congress, and I now hold the honor of serving the people of New York's 4th Congressional District here in New York. Today, I am grateful to Touro Law. I know that without my Touro legal education, without my professors, without the administrators who truly cared, without my classmates, and without my Touro Law family, I wouldn't be where I am today. Touro began in a small building in Midtown Manhattan and continued at a converted junior high school in Huntington, my law school home. In 2007, Touro Law moved to its current home in Central Islip. In 1986, my dean, Howard Glickstein, was installed as the 3rd dean of Touro Law. He is responsible for many programs and innovations that have shaped our school. Dean Glickstein established a board of governors, a distinguished group of men and women that today includes judges, partners of major Long Island and New York City law firms, business executives, general counsels of international corporations, and of course, one member of the United States Congress. During Dean Glickstein's tenure from 1986 to 2004, 3 United States Supreme Court justices visited our school, including Justice Antonin Scalia, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. In 1990, Touro Law implemented the Legal Education Access Program, better known as LEAP, to encourage diversity in our law school by offering a positive, welcoming environment for minority law students and to offer support to students from diverse backgrounds. In 1991, Touro Law established the Bruce K. Gould Book Award. The annual awards ceremony has brought to the school a roster of A-list literary stars, including novelist John Grisham, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Bob Woodward, and Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. The Touro Law journey has too many milestones to list this evening, but surely one of the highlights was its move from Huntington to a beautiful building in central Islip. The planning for the move, including new curricular innovations, funding, and construction considerations, began in the late 90s. The school's capital campaign raised more than $16 million, quite a feat for a young school. The law school moved into its new building in 2007. My friend, Senator Chuck Schumer, gave the keynote address at the dedication before a guest roster of elected officials. Touro Law is a family. We take care of and help each other. We are passionate about the law, social justice, and the impact of law on those around us. Rabbi Moisha Krupka, Touro College's Executive Vice President, Touro College and University System, has a special understanding of Touro's focus on justice and humanity. I would like to welcome him now for a reflection on Touro's Jewish mission and on our Jewish roots as the basis of the ethos of our institution.
Human dignity, protecting the rights of individuals, the pursuit of justice, that's a holy Jewish concept as well as a holy life's mission. The two of those together are able to meld together into an incredible academic environment. Now, we live in a time of incredible bias, a time of division. Our law center is here to unite people, to protect people and their rights. Our Torah, our way of life, is predicated on the laws of social justice. Our law center gives expression to that in empowering our students through an outstanding faculty, through the scholarship that takes place there, to stand up and protect our community from injustice. The Fuchsburg Law Center has always prided itself in motivating its students to take active roles in making our community better, where our students have gotten involved and made people's lives better over the course of this last year in a very palpable, very meaningful fashion. What we've always hoped for and what we have seen in our graduates is to take the humanity that we instill in our educational process, the sensitivity, the respect for human dignity, and to use a healthy dose of that in every aspect of their practice. That's who we are. We're an institution that's predicated on human success. Not only the success of our students, but we empower those students to be able to bestow upon their families, their communities, the people around them, that sense of justice. That's really the underpinnings of the education we provide at the Law Center and throughout the Touro system. We're so incredibly appreciative of the leadership that we have at our Law Center, while many other institutions were struggling just to maintain their position within the academic community. Dean Elena Langen has been able to achieve incredible new heights in terms of academic achievement, in terms of student success, even during these unprecedented times with the challenges that COVID has presented us. We're so lucky, we're so gratified, we're so fortunate to have her as our dean.
Thank you, Rabbi Krupka. Your inspiring words have captured the spirit of the Touro Law experience and what makes us unique. Touro graduates and current students understand the special nature of Touro, and they know without reservation that the Touro family will be there to support them, both academically and with generous scholarships. Over the past decade, the school has worked diligently to increase funding for student scholarships. In 2012, we had 4 named scholarships, and today we have nearly 70. These scholarships benefit many students. Let's hear from some of them now.
I got involved in law because coming from my community, there's a general lack of trust for law enforcement, and for me, I wanted to serve as the bridge between law enforcement and my community.
I'm someone who loves fairness and justice, and one of the hospitalists that I was working with at the hospital had wanted to start a new human trafficking program because Suffolk County actually is a huge hub of human trafficking. As I got to be a nurse, and I've been doing this for 10 years, I felt that I need something more. I need to help them further.
You feel a little bit helpless when you see all of the things happening in the world, and I wanted to be someone who could represent the underrepresented communities in New York. For me, it means the world to me to be able to help people who are at a disadvantage.
Touro was my first choice because Suffolk County is my home, and being able to make a difference so close to home was important to me.
What really drew me to Touro was their flex time program, because I still need to work full time. I have a career, I have family responsibilities that I need to continue fulfilling. It's an enabling program for people who would love to pursue something and actually get a chance to actually follow their dreams.
The other advantage to Touro for me is the fact that they had a 2-year program, and there is no other school on the island that has a 2-year program. And because I'm a mom, and because I knew that I would be going for those few years without a solid salary, I wanted to do it as quickly as I could.
Here at Touro, I'm the Associate Editor-in-Chief of the Moot Court, and that society is really focused around appellate advocacy. We train our members and get them ready to represent Touro in various competitions around the country. We're a tight-knit group in the Moot Court, yes. It's about 30 of us, and we each work hard to make each other better.
Regardless of the fact that we're different ages, and I'm a little bit older than most of the class, we have been a really tight group since day one, and they've always been a huge sense of support and encouragement for me.
We're so dynamic in the sense that we all bring something super different to the program, and it's very different from regular law school. I feel like everyone has that perspective that we're all competing against each other, and we're all trying to get to the top and get the best externships and the best, jobs after. And yes, we are, but at the same time, we understand that we're all doing this so that way we can all succeed. So when we help each other out, it's for all our benefits.
Because Touro is such a smaller school, the community here is so tight-knit. So that means that the faculty and even the staff are always ready and willing to help.
They know that we are really doing something that's almost impossible. So they're trying their best to accommodate us in every which way. And I saw that really evident during the pandemic, because I was working and I was there, and it was very difficult, and it became more difficult when my mom got sick because she's a nurse and she got really sick. And when I went to my professors and said, things are getting really tough, really real, and my mom had to get hospitalized, I got so much support. It was unbelievable.
I graduate law school this May, so right now I am currently applying to jobs. I'm looking into different law firms throughout Suffolk County and a few in Nassau. I'm open to different areas of law. Family law is an interest of mine, so is trust and estates, child advocacy.
But I ultimately would love to be able to bring in my healthcare experience, bring in my public health experience while being able to work as a lawyer. That would be the ultimate goal.
Because of the fear of persecution and fear of deportation, many members of my community didn't get access to justice. And I want to be that bridge for those members of my community to get access to justice.
When I first applied to law school, I was really nervous. I was nervous that I wouldn't fit in because I was older than the other students. And I was nervous because I hadn't been in a school atmosphere for over a decade. And so to anyone who's feeling nervous about applying to Toro, I would tell you that there's no need to be, because they make you feel welcome from the minute you walk in the door, and they make it clear that they want us to succeed.
It's almost like you're working with a family.
They all have so much trial knowledge and know exactly the advice that you need to make you successful. That's something that you can't get somewhere else.
I have learned so much in the almost 2 years I've been here already, and I know that whatever I end up doing when I graduate, I know I'll be able to come back here and, go back to my professors and talk to them and get some good expert advice, and to know that I'm going to be leaving here with a legal education that I'm not going to be shaking in my legs like, oh my God, what am I going to do when I walk away from this? How am I going to be able to do this? I feel like the practicalness of the education they're giving us is so much more than I could ever imagine, especially coming from a background where it's, as a professional, as a nurse, it's so important to be able to physically do things and know how to take care of a patient and start an IV. I'm getting that kind of skill here where I may not have gotten it anywhere else.
Thank you to our incredible students. Your stories are inspirational and your futures are bright. I am delighted that I will soon be able to welcome you to our alumni family. Toro alumni are everywhere. Whether they are in the courtroom or the boardroom, they are making a difference. Let's check in with a few of them now.
I love the practice of law. I really have seen many different areas, professions, industries, and I can say it's 25 years since I've been admitted to the bar, and there's not a day that goes by that I'm not thankful for being a lawyer.
I did not plan all of my life to be a judge, nor did I plan all of my life to be a lawyer. I did not decide to go to law school until after I graduated from college and started looking into different career opportunities for myself. I am thankful for the opportunity to be here, but I always say to those young attorneys and the law students that you never know where your career is going to take you. You must always prepare, so when the opportunity presents itself, you are ready to be able to move forward.
As a young student sitting in our classrooms, debating legal issues, hearing faculty pose legal questions, you're just that. You're a student, you're trying to absorb, you're being a sponge. But it's not until later, when you're actually practicing law and you're sitting with a colleague, or you're sitting on the other side of a table of an adversary, or frankly, you're pitching a client, where you then go back, you reach back to the things that you learned at Toro. And it reminds you of how well prepared you are. And again, these are tools that I take with me every day. And yeah, I'm surprised at the education that I have, but I'm really thankful that I have it, because it's made me the kind of lawyer that I am today.
I am thankful that Toro has poured into me, because it has helped shape me as a lawyer as well as a judge. I have learned practical experience through Toro, so it goes beyond just the academic knowledge that you learn from your professors. It goes into the programs that they allow you to be a part of. And Toro has become a family to me. The professors, the deans, the fellow classmates are all still a part of my circle, which I truly, truly cherish.
The education that Toro gave me continues to resonate with me every day in the practice of law. The ability to think and to analyze, and most importantly, to listen. I mean, Toro and the faculty pounded into us as students that you need to truly listen to the client, understand the question that's being presented before you can actually dig in and figure out the solution. And those are tools that I carry with me every day, tools that have enabled me to grow professionally, to build a practice, and to be where I'm at in the practice of law today.
Sitting on the bench for the next 14 years means that I will continue, or be given the opportunity to continue to administer justice. It means that I will continue to be a role model for so many young girls and boys, as well as young attorneys. It means that I am being given the opportunity for 14 years to try to improve the legal system within the judicial system. And it means that I will continue to be able to give litigants at some of their worst times, as I'm sitting in the matrimonial part now, an opportunity to be fully heard throughout all of their proceedings.
One of the most important things that we do in big law is pro bono matters, giving back to the community. It's very, very important. It's pounded into us as partners at Alston and Byrd, and it's consistent with what we learned at Toro, which is take your legal education and, of course, be prosperous, but give back. Remember that your legal education is something that could benefit not only the rich, but the poor and those most in need, and that's something that I carry with me every day.
I chose Toro because of the opportunities it presented to me as a law student. In addition, Toro is a public interest school. I've always wanted to help others. What better way to help others than to be an attorney who practices in the realm of public interest? Many people, when they look at what school, or they try to determine what school they want to go to, they sometimes just look at rankings. And I believe it's important that you look beyond rankings and you look at what else the school can provide for you and for your career.
I became a donor to Toro Law School because I wanted to give something back, something substantial to the institution that gave me the foundation of my legal education. Toro gave me everything I needed to go out into the marketplace and to be confident that I was prepared to practice law and to grow professionally. And it's been 25 years since I've graduated, and I thought it was time to seriously give back to the institution, and I'm really excited that I've done it, and I look forward to continue to support Toro Law School.
Thank you all for sharing your experiences. Every Toro Law graduate has their own distinct story, but we all share a passion for the law and are keenly aware that our education has given us the ability to make a difference in the world. We all have seen how we can make an impact on a single life, but we also know that our law degrees give us the potential to have a collective impact on society. Now I'd like to introduce Howard Stein, who is chair of the Toro Board of Governors, co-chair of tonight's gala, an adjunct professor of law, and a key member of a law firm that regularly hires Toro alumni.
I first became associated with Toro in, I think it was 1993, and I feel very committed to the Long Island community. And I think part of that, and part of the reason I've been committed to Toro, is I think Toro has done a remarkable job in enhancing the Long Island experience, making law school available for Suffolk County and for all of Long Island. But I think the law school has enhanced the ability, the educational experience, the educational opportunities, and at the same time has done a remarkable job itself in giving back and making clinics available, in providing public service for the Long Island community. One of the things that I really love about the school, obviously, are the students. And I've been teaching again for 27 years. Most of my students are part-time students. And it was a revelation to me because most of them had jobs, most of them were full-time employed. Many of them were older, second career type of people, and it was fascinating to me because that's not the experience I had in law school. And the students are incredible. I never cease to be amazed at how well prepared they are, how much time and effort they put into it while they are involved in other things, parenting, careers. It's just wonderful. And one of the reasons I just keep going back and keep doing it over and over again is because I just have such admiration for the students and what they're able to accomplish.
Thank you, Howard. Your dedication to Toro is commendable. The passionate faculty at Toro are such an important part of the family. I am grateful for some of the extraordinary educators I had the privilege of learning from, including Professors Richard Klein, Gary Shaw, Eileen Kaufman, and Rena Seplowitz. The former Dean of Students, Bruce Cohen, was another great mentor for me. He was a chaperone on our trip to Israel, which was an opportunity of a lifetime that I will never forget. Let's hear from some of the current faculty now.
When I was in high school, my high school had a community service program that was compulsory for all students. And I think that is something that really stuck with me throughout my life. The idea of paying back, right? The idea that you are privileged to be in a position of education or power or professionalism, and you should use that position to help others achieve the same.
One of the things that I really appreciate about being at Touro is seeing the commitment to public service and seeing how the school is really dedicated to getting students out into the community and developing an ethic of service that one hopes is going to carry over into their careers once they have graduated.
It has always been a law school where we try to make it accessible to all people. And as an alum and as a teacher, a member of the faculty and administrator, that's what I try to promote and advance at the law school every single day.
The number of students who are oftentimes, for instance, first generation college, first generation American, and the opportunity that they have been given to enter this profession and get their training here at Touro. That's something that I really love being a part of, because I feel like it feels just a little bit like the American dream, which is a cheesy thing to say, but it's actually true. I feel that that's one of the most wonderful things about the legal profession, the way that it not just defends people who need defending, but provides opportunities for people to rise in their own circumstances.
I am unbelievably fortunate, and I get great satisfaction out of my job, which is my calling, and it's teaching.
I love this job, and part of the reason I love my job so much is because I have the opportunity every single time I stand up in front of a room of students to contribute to the tradition of upholding the rule of law.
Just the idea of introducing these students to careers in the law opens their minds in a way that is extremely productive and important.
I realized what a wonderful opportunity it would be for our students to become involved in these programs that were being initiated by the state. Our law school became the focal point for developing access to justice programs. So our students and our faculty went to them, where they live, in their neighborhoods.
There's a lot of value, I think, in not throwing money at the problems or the weaknesses of a community, but rather investing in their strengths. And I think that is what these kinds of programs bring to the table. And this approach of going outside of the school and making our students go to the community, I think, is quite unique.
We were able to not just provide access to justice to members of our community and neighborhoods, but to provide our students with the kind of educational opportunities that would make them into the lawyers who could promote our mission of social justice. And they provided services to people in their neighborhoods, to people who were afraid to come to the courthouse. Immigrants cannot go to the courthouse. There's much too much at stake. And in every step of the way, our students have played an essential role in delivering these services to our most vulnerable community members.
The impact that these programs are having on the community is substantial. I see the future of these programs as, the sky's the limit. The more we can expand these kinds of programs and go beyond just Brentwood High School to other communities around us would be magnificent.
I love the fact that the law school has moved in a direction that makes it even more student-centered than it was when it started. Our mission is to produce practice-ready lawyers, and I do that every day to the best of my ability in terms of being an administrator and a member of the faculty. And our other mission is to promote social justice. We live our mission, and I think that that's the proudest thing that I can say about my law school.
I really just like Touro as an institution. I think that there is something really wonderful about the way that it trains students, the way that it gives students opportunities to really cut their teeth on practical opportunities to get trained. There's this wonderful attitude about providing opportunities for students to become lawyers, especially students who might not have had the opportunity to become lawyers. And I think that that is really a wonderful kind of institution, a wonderful place to be, and it's a place that fits me. I just really feel at home here.
When I first met Patty Salkin, she was the 5th Dean of Touro Law. She was known for her passion for land use and zoning. She literally wrote the book on it. I was also impressed with her focus on fundraising for scholarships for the law school. Her efforts have raised millions. Now, as Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost of the Graduate and Professional Division for Touro College, she helps to guide the college with the same values, hard work, passion, and professionalism she gave to the law school as its first woman dean. I look forward to her remarks.
You know, there are over 4,000 colleges and universities in the United States, but only about 200 have ABA-approved law schools like Touro. The law school is a special part of Touro because it enables us to fulfill our mission of social justice and access to education. The Law Center is woven into the fabric of the college because of the educational opportunities that Touro Law Center offers to benefit students across the system. We have a holistic approach to our admissions process, and we look far and wide for the best students from all different backgrounds who are really passionate about wanting to pursue a career in law and social justice. And the number of students that come here because they want to make a difference and because they want to help people, that's really what sets Touro apart from other schools. And what could be bad about being on a courthouse campus? No other law school has both a federal and a state courthouse across the street. The Law Center has taken advantage of that by bringing in judges to work with our students actively, almost daily, in classes and in experiential opportunities. Our students are very comfortable across the street in the courthouse, and in fact, that's one of the things that employers really value about the Touro Law Center students, because they have a comfortable working knowledge of the courthouse. In 2012, when I made the decision to join the Touro College community and come to Touro Law Center, it was really the people. The people make the place. And the faculty, the students, the alumni, the administration, everybody has a commitment to social justice. Everybody has a commitment to helping others. I think there is a special feeling of family and support and encouragement here at Touro Law Center. One of the things that separates Touro from other law schools is that we really put the law into practice for our students while they're here. And it's a special kind of experiential education and learning, very hands-on, that has a lot to do with the courthouses across the street. It has a lot to do with our clinics where our students interact with clients on a regular basis, but it's also embedded in each and every class. The legal profession, like many other professions, has recently been undergoing a lot of self-reflection to make sure that the diversity of the profession really reflects the community that we serve. And one of the great things about Touro Law Center is that it's always been at the forefront of that diversity, providing access to education for students who are first generation in their family, not just to graduate from high school and to go to college, but to earn a law degree. And knowing that our students are committed to going back and serving the very communities that they came from really makes a difference in helping us to diversify the profession and to make sure that everybody has access to justice.
Thank you, Patty. Touro Law is truly a special place. The extent of that commitment becomes clear when you see it in action and witness its impact. I know the future is bright. I see continued progress in our work in new programs in health law and business law, in our work in social justice, and as we continue to respond to changes in the legal field and the needs of our students. I also expect Touro Law to remain at the forefront of advancements in technology and education that benefit both teaching and learning. I know without a doubt that our alumni will continue to make an impact as leaders in the legal community, the business community, the public sector in designing public policy, in the judiciary, and in the not-for-profit sector. They will utilize their Touro legal education with distinction and as a force for good in the world.
Thank you, Dean Langen. I couldn't agree with you more. Touro is a very special place. I think I speak for my other fellow graduates when I say that after leaving Touro, we all feel compelled by a sense of duty. The values that are instilled in us as students and our community culture inspire us to want to make an impact in a positive way. We learn about how we can go out in the world and be a force for good, and we are given the world-class education we need to make it happen.
As we begin the awards section of tonight's 40th Anniversary Gala, I would like to say to all of tonight's honorees that we applaud your purpose and your resolve. We applaud you for joining us in helping our students to become members of the bar with the highest degree of professionalism. You are an accomplished group, and we are so very grateful to each of you for your friendship, hard work, and support. Thank you. The Dean's Medal, established by my predecessor, Harry Ballin, has been awarded 3 times in its short history. The award is given to organizations and individuals who have gone above and beyond in meeting their mission or performing individual acts of humanitarianism. I am delighted that my first Dean's Medal is being awarded to an organization that more than meets these criteria. The Legal Aid Society of Suffolk County, established in 1964, provides zealous, holistic criminal defense, family court representation, and social work assistance to Suffolk County residents. I am proud to say that the leadership of the 100 Lawyer organization is rich with Touro graduates, specifically Laurette Mulry, attorney in charge, and Elizabeth Liz Justison, Chief Community Outreach Officer. It is my great honor to present the Dean's Medal to Laurette Mulry, Touro class of 1999, representing the dedicated lawyers of the Legal Aid Society of Suffolk County.
I have the great privilege of serving as the attorney in charge of the Legal Aid Society, and I've been in that role since 2016. And I think that it is very, very important for us to give law students the opportunity to see the real world. We have wonderful opportunities between Legal Aid and Touro to give that experience to the students, whether it be in internships, summer internships, or externships during the school year. And that's the one thing I think is very important for the law students to understand, is that there is a great number of people that try to go it alone, that don't realize that, number one, they have a legal problem or have the knowledge or wherewithal to be able to deal with it. So if we can bridge that gap and provide access to justice, whether it be in the form of information or representation, it is better for our communities. It makes our communities safer. If we could help people to access all of that, it helps all of us. It helps our society. For those who have applied to the Legal Aid Society, I see a demonstrated commitment to public service. And that, of course, is honed here at the law school. And I think it is because of these partnerships with, whether it be the Legal Aid Society or other organizations in the community, the students are getting that real life experience, and they understand the needs of our community so that they want to give back and they want to serve. But it really goes back to the component of access to justice and the understanding that there are individuals who need legal assistance and have no other means of obtaining that. We're very, very happy that we've had a lot of opportunities to work together with Touro, and I think, it benefits both entities. Touro gave me a lot of opportunities, and I totally believe in giving back and paying it forward. And so in my career, I've always tried to mentor and encourage anybody that has an interest and would like to learn more.
The Paul S. Miller Award is named for the law school's first dinner honoree. It is presented to a Touro Law graduate who has made significant contributions to the community and who possess outstanding leadership qualities. I am delighted to present this year's award to Touro alumna Jyothi Narendran. Jyothi is most definitely a woman who demonstrates leadership qualities every day. She is the co-managing partner of Jaspen Schlesinger LLP, where she makes critical decisions, including hiring Touro graduates as young associates. She is a member of the Touro Law Board of Governors and has become a leading voice on our board for her wisdom, humanity, and generosity. Not only has her law firm chosen to support a named scholarship at Touro Law, but Jyothi is also a personal contributor to the newly formed Women in the Law Empowerment Scholarship Fund at the Law Center. It is my great honor to present Jyothi Narendran with our prestigious Paul S. Miller Award.
My parents are first generation in this country. I was actually born in India and brought here when I was 3. I don't think expectations ran very high for what I might amount to, considering I didn't even speak the language when I arrived in this country. My parents were more concerned, being Orthodox Indian individuals, for me to be married and have children. Hence, I was married at 19 and before I even graduated college. So it's come as quite a shock to them that I have been able to achieve what I have achieved in these past years. I decided to go to law school when I was working as a controller at a commercial real estate firm, and I had a lot of dealings with our corporate counsel, who was involved in so many day-to-day decisions and workings of our company. And it was just amazing to me how much law played a part in business. I knew that law school would teach me how to analyze better, how to write better, and how to deal in any given situation better. Over the years, I have hired many Touro graduates as well as Touro students for internship programs. And the one thing that's been increasingly clear to me is that the people that are drawn to Touro are very intelligent, hardworking, humble, and grateful individuals. We all speak about diversity nowadays. It's a topic that's more and more frequent. But keep in mind, back in 1991, when I started Touro, their LEAP program was already in play. They already had it established. And LEAP is the Legal Education Access Program that was offered to minorities and other individuals that didn't have access to higher education prior to their experience at Touro. I think that it is so important to be involved in pro bono work, whether it's pro bono legal work or whether it's devoting your time to charitable organizations. I think it is so important for firms and individuals to donate to programs at the law school, whether it be through personal donations or in the form of scholarships. I have met so many wonderful people through this journey of philanthropy. For me, I'm so proud that my firm Jaspen Schlesinger has committed to an annual scholarship for the benefit of students that are in need of some assistance. I personally am so proud to donate to the Women Empowerment in Law program, which provides benefits to women that are underrepresented in the legal community. My experience at Touro has taught me so much. My confidence has been built. I think my leadership skills have grown, and I think all these things have helped me become a very important part of Jaspen Schlesinger, which I'm so incredibly proud of.
This year's Elected Official of the Year award is given to Sheriff Toulon. Sheriff Errol Toulon is Suffolk County's 67th sheriff and the first African American to be elected to a non-judicial county-wide office. I am proud to celebrate his many accomplishments with our Elected Official of the Year award.
My mother and father were very instrumental in both my brother and I's career, and we both followed in my father's footsteps. My brother was a deputy warden on Rikers Island for 33 years, and I worked with the department for 25 years. And I think, when we talk about mentorship and we talk about role models, one of the things that was a tenet when I was running for office was to get to the kids before they get to me. So I would rather talk to kids in a school, in a playground, in a community center, in a firehouse, rather than have to talk to them behind the four walls in a jail or prison. And so I've made it a passion and an edict of mine to actually get into the community, talk to as many young men and women as possible to understand what is going on in their lives, because it's so different than when I was growing up. One of the reasons why I really wanted to be on the Board of Governors at Touro Law School is because of the nexus between our community and the law school. Being a sheriff of Suffolk County and someone that has almost over 30 years of law enforcement experience, I know how important it is for the law enforcement community to learn what is going on in our law schools so that hopefully we can be able to help those students in their future careers. What my hopes is to bring a different perspective as a board member to the students and the faculty. The Suffolk County Sheriff's Office has created many rehabilitation programs for those that are incarcerated in our system. From deconstructing the school to prison pipeline, we have a senior pod. We created the first human trafficking unit in the country in a jail. And with many of those programs, we were able to connect with Touro Law School. An example is we had our first deconstructing the school to prison pipeline here at Touro Law School, where we had almost 400 participants, service providers, attorneys, those that were formerly incarcerated, talk about those adverse, what we call ACE, those adverse childhood experiences that men and women who are incarcerated or come into contact with the criminal justice system and how it is affected. And so Touro is a great partner with the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office in bridging those gaps between the needs of those that are incarcerated, the needs of those that could possibly be incarcerated because of the behavior or the socioeconomic issues or conditions, the mental health issues, the lack of employment, the lack of housing. And so working with the law school is extremely important to me to really try to bridge the gaps. Also, having students that are in law school is extremely important because, one, they get to see what is going on in our community. You know, many times the only thing we know about a crime or a victim or someone that committed that crime is what we read in the paper or what we see on TV. But now when you get to have a up-close and personal aspect where you're either talking to members of the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office or the incarcerated individuals themselves, gives them a different perspective and a better understanding of how they can pursue their careers.
The Touro Law Builders Society was created in 2011 to recognize and celebrate those individuals who have been an integral part of the Touro Law community throughout its 40-year history. I am delighted to publicly recognize and thank the Fuchsberg family and the Gould family. Judge Jack Fuchsberg, for whom our school is named, worked tirelessly with Dr. Bernie Lander on finding us a home in Huntington. His wife Shirley was an active member of our Board of Governors until her death in 2003. It was Shirley and the family's $2 million gift that led the way in our capital campaign for the construction of our current law school building. Her indomitable spirit still seems to guide us even today through her children, Alan and Roz, extraordinary members of our board. The Gould family, represented by Bruce Gould this evening, has been friends of this law school since Bruce's graduation in 1984. Bruce and his family donated the funds for our first distinguished chair, created the Bruce K. Gould Book Award, and gave the other $2 million lead gift to our capital campaign to name the school's library, the Gould Law Library. I am proud to call Roz, Alan, and Bruce my friends and say thank you to them for all they and their families have done for Touro Law from its earliest days until now. I have asked my friend Bruce Gould to make some comments on behalf of the Builders Society.
Thank you for those kind words. They mean the world to me. With 49 members of our Builders Society, it would take hours to list all of their accomplishments as pillars. Instead, I'd like to focus on 7 individuals who I've had the pleasure of working with and who have made an outsized impact on our law school. Without Dr. Bernard Lander, of blessed memory, there would be no Touro Law Center. Dr. Lander's vision was not just about graduating law students. the mission he gave voice to encompassed an ethos of social justice within the Jewish tradition, and we embrace his vision even today. In the college's 50-year history, we have had only 2 presidents. Dr. Alan Kadish assumed the presidency in 2010 after the death of Dr. Lander. My friend Alan Kadish took Dr. Lander's vision and energy and brought them forward to create a great American college and university system with a world-class law school, an accomplishment we celebrate tonight. In the past 40 years, the law school has been fortunate to find deans whose talents fit the moment. All have moved the law school forward, building on the legacy of their predecessor. John Bainbridge was dean from 1982 to 1986. He oversaw the move from our first law school building in New York City to Huntington, and was responsible for guiding the school to provisional accreditation. In 1986, my good friend Howard Glickstein became dean and brought a myriad of changes to Touro during his 18-year tenure. Dean Glickstein instituted the Law Center's pro bono requirement for graduation. He promoted rigor in the classroom and brought excellent speakers to the school. Howard's vision was to relocate the law school adjacent to both a state courthouse and a federal courthouse. Dean Larry Rafel executed Howard's vision and worked hard to get us our current home, a state-of-the-art law school building in Central Islip, with programs that ensure our students would have the opportunity to learn from practicing attorneys and members of the bench. Dean Patricia Salkin arrived at the law school in 2012 and brought a focus on fundraising. Just 3 months into her tenure, she gave leadership to our disaster response effort after Hurricane Sandy. Patty's passion, land use, brought the Law Center a Land Use and Sustainable Law Institute and a new national presence as a host of the National Law Use Institute. Dean Harry Bowen became dean in 2016, and his tenure was remarkable for guiding the school's effort in community and giving new leadership to social justice programs. Thank you, Dean Langen, for giving me the opportunity to speak about my fellow Builders Society members. Congratulations to all of you. It has been an honor to be among such an impressive group.
One of the inductees of the Builders Society is Jeffrey Rosengarten. Jeff Rosengarten is Senior Vice President of Operations, Touro College and University System. Jeff joined Touro 6 years ago. At Touro, he is responsible for providing leadership and oversight for real estate, construction, and facilities planning. We are grateful that Jeff Rosengarten, a man of deep integrity and talent, will undoubtedly have a positive impact on our students and their educational journey for decades to come. It is my great honor to welcome Jeff Rosengarten as a member of our prestigious Builders Society.
As Senior Vice President of Operations, one of the, I think, the most exciting component of what I'm responsible for is campus planning. My involvement with the Law Center began early in my tenure here at Touro. I was not around when the Law Center was first established and built, but in the intervening years, there's been various projects we've been involved in. And in my capacity as Operations Senior Vice President, I've been involved, most notably, we're consolidating campuses, building a new building on the site, so that the next few years will be really super exciting at the Law Center. When you speak about the Touro College and University System, where we have many campuses, many schools, and we are throughout the metropolitan area and beyond even the East Coast of the United States, planning our campuses, planning for our growth, planning for the changes in education as they come, trying to be a step ahead. Dr. Lander, as a visionary, actually foresaw everything we're involved in today back then. That's what visionaries do. And therefore, I don't think in any way he would be surprised by what we're accomplishing. I think he'd be very, though, gratified to see that in the wake of his, groundbreaking work as the president of Touro, that those who have picked up the torch, Dr. Kadish and the entire administration, have forged forward. But again, I don't think Dr. Landa would in any way be surprised because he saw it before we did. He believed in serving the underserved because the way that you build communities and beyond cities and then states and then countries and then the world was to really never leave the underserved behind. But he had to be a visionary because he spoke about things and he reached towards things that were impossible to accomplish. And wouldn't you know it, Touro accomplished them.
Professor Lynn Adair Kramer is responsible for creating and giving leadership to the Law Center's innovative court observation program. She has helped to expand opportunities for students through securing internships and other experiential learning opportunities. She has directed and given leadership to our Trial Advocacy and Practice Society and has worked tirelessly as an organizer, coach, and cheerleader for the program. Professor Kramer has been a well-respected practitioner in the field of matrimonial law and trial practice and has effectively taught both of those subjects to scores of Touro Law students, many of whom consider her a mentor. Her work and interaction with students has made an indelible impact on them, and many have kept in touch to share their career successes years after they graduate. It is my great honor to welcome Lynn Adair Kramer as a member of our prestigious Builders Society.
So I got to Touro to begin with because they were looking for a female to teach trial practice, and when they moved to CI in 2006, the dream was to have a relationship between the courts and the school. Touro developed a court observation program where students could actually see what was going on in court and then have interaction with the participants. I arranged for us to go to individual courtrooms in addition to the arraignment part. And I spoke to a variety of judges and lined up judges for all of the students to visit with. And so our students really get to see what's going on. And we spend 3.5 hours with an individual judge who will have a trial going on, and we get to meet the lawyers, or we get to be part of the plea bargaining operation and actually see the DAs and the defense lawyers trying to work out a deal. And I think trial work is very similar to a sport because you have a set of rules that you have to follow, you push them as far as you can, but you play to win, and you play to outsmart the other side. And what's fabulous about the trial teams is that we get some of the finest lawyers to privately work with our students hours and hours to work on training them. Every member of the more recent trial teams has ended up with a job as a trial lawyer. And I think it's made a huge difference in terms of our recognition and our self-respect, seeing that we have beaten schools that of course are more well-known than perhaps we are. Touro can compete with anyone. One of the important things about Touro is the closeness that the students and faculty share. Touro is actually a happy place. That's not common for law schools. And one of the reasons I love Touro is because private practice and pro bono, they do go together. I train them in the way that they can give back to the public and to the profession. We can all do well in the profession, but doing good is also a very important part of it. And Touro believes in that.
Thank you for joining us this evening. For 40 years, Touro Law's leaders have worked to establish a foundation of excellence. All of tonight's honorees have helped us realize some of our most important goals, and they have strengthened our future. We thank them for their leadership, vision, generosity, passion, and hard work. We also thank our sponsors and our donors. Your support has helped us to raise significant funding for student scholarships. One final word. If you were inspired by what you saw tonight and would like to help, please consider a gift in support of our students. I know they would very much appreciate your generosity. On their behalf, thank you and enjoy your evening.